All right, all right, all right. What time is it? It's money mindset time. So excited to have you all here today. Uh, I can't I can't express enough about how awesome it is to have the guests that I have today. We're gonna get them on here in a minute. But first and foremost, just so grateful to have you all here with me today, and just I I can't be more excited about today. I've been waiting for a couple of weeks now for this opportunity, and I am just too hype, too hype. So today we got the internationally known comedian Mr. Tone X and his wonderful, wonderful wife, CEO Yolanda Belser. Let's bring them both in. Let's get them in here. Hello, hello. Give her a minute to get on.
Hey, can you hear us?
Hey, Auntie, I can't hear you.
Okay, we're trying to start the video. Okay, hold on.
It's all right.
Yeah. All right.
Hey,
Hey.
there you go. Look, I gotta give a round of applause for that. I got a sound machine and everything. We gotta clap it up and figure out what's going on, Auntie and Unc.
What's going on, nephew?
Nep, how you feeling, man?
All is well. Look, I'm feeling real good right now because I got y'all in the building, so I'm excited. I'm excited. So we gonna dive right into it because I want to be a respecter of your time. But first and foremost, it's just so happy to see y'all. It's been since before the pandemic hit
Yeah.
that I was able to see y'all, and it's just exciting to have you in front of me, even if it is Zoom.
Right. We're excited to be in front of you, nephew, and glad to see you on the other side or halfway through the pandemic and see
That's
that you're
right.
well.
Well, I appreciate y'all. So first and foremost, before I dive into the show, I want to do what's most important, and that is give you your flowers and just tell you again, thank you so much for joining the show today, and just all that you have done for me. I wanted to real quick tell the audience because we live and not everybody knows my story, but real quick, when I literally first decided to do stand-up comedy. I had did one show, and you were with Alex Parker, CEO of P. Alexander Wear, which I'm rocking today.
Right.
And he mentioned that you had a friend that did comedy, and you was like, "Well, let's put him on," and put me on to Laugh It Up Thursday, and that was my second show ever.
Wow.
Y'all didn't even hear one joke. You were just like, yo, let's bring them, give them opportunity. And I've been going hard since. So that was what, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you for that opportunity.
Thank you, man. It's a blessing to be here, nephew.
Yeah.
So first off, let me just share with you all the purpose of the show is we just like to bring people on to talk about, what it takes to really do things on your own, go out, get your own thing, start your own business, CEO, whatever the case may be, fulfill your dreams, and what mindset it takes to do that. But before I dive into that, just to kind of, if you both could kind of give your story, for example, Tone, you've been doing stand up for how long? About 80 years.
Yeah, about 90 years. No, I'm coming up on 30 years, getting close to it.
Wow.
Been doing stand-up, radio, TV, just entertaining, period.
Right.
And still doing it.
Right.
And loving it.
Right. And let me ask you this, and then we're gonna get to your auntie. But let me ask you, and this is my aunt and uncle, so that y'all hear me call aunt uncle. That's how they raised me. They raised me like family. So this is my auntie and my uncle. Y'all don't get to call them that, but I do.
Right.
But when was it that you was like, this is what I gotta do? Entertainment, entertaining people, no matter what. Like when did that light bulb moment happen for you?
Probably when I got out the military.
Okay.
That was 1990. And then they were having Zima, Clearmont, and Walter Latham were doing a amateur contest, and you got to open up for a show here in Charlotte. And I went to the Comedy Zone, and Nate Smith, who's with Kevin Hart now,
Right.
he let me go up. And that's when Nate quit. Rest in peace to him. He used to host. And so I went up. And when I went up, the response was so overwhelming that I said, well, I got to do this again. And, it's like my man, I was just interviewing J. Anthony Brown. He's like, you get on that horse and you keep riding, and you get back up on it, you get back up on it. And so that's how it was. Right. And then I was like, oh yeah, like I like this too much not to want to see where this goes. So that's how that started.
So the love of it got you going. And Auntie, we see all YNS Productions. We got the Grown Gear, which we're gonna get into. You do brand management and managing acts. When did you have that light bulb moment that you were like, I need to do this for me versus working for somebody else?
To be honest with you, Neff, I believe that light bulb hit when I came out the womb, because at 7 years old, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And that was, I got into that was actually hair. So I started that. And by the time I was 13, I had a salon in the basement of our house. And I was doing the neighborhood's hair. My mom's friends and my friends, and they were making appointments like at a real salon.
What?
Unfortunately, when I was in high school, back in the 80s and the 90s, well, in the 80s, they offered cosmetology as a trade or as a skill set that you could take. Right. So I went to cosmetology in high school, graduated from cosmetology, kind of went right into the salon, but I also went to another cosmetology school, Southeastern. So literally at the time, at 17, 18, I was working in the salons. And then from there, I did hair for over 17 years. And within that time, I met Tone, like around the end of 97, 96, 97. And then I was still doing hair, but he was so amazing in his career. I actually met him at the Comedy Zone, where he was just talking about where he would do the sets with Nate Quick, and they used to call it Freak Tuesdays. And so I met him there. So from doing hair and transition, and I work with celebrity clients and high profile clients, I got a chance to hear a lot of the back end stories of what was not right in the entertainment industry or what they were not getting with management. Okay. And because I was dating someone at that time who was in the industry, it made me even more interested. And so we would have pillow talk at night and that type of thing. And I was like, you know what? I've been doing hair all my life. I would like to do something else. And so I literally just stepped out on a limb, created a company at that time. My partner, Kimberly Edmonds, and I called Y Square Management, which is transitioned into YNS Productions. Mm-hmm. And that was it. So I've always, to be honest with you, had that entrepreneurial, I feel like, mindset.
So I just got to go back to that. At 7 years old, to 13, by 13, so 7 years old, you're doing hair. By 13, you got the neighborhood coming to the house. Like, I need Yolanda to come fix my wig because I got to go to church on Sunday.
Make appointments, honey. A wash and curl, really regular wash and curl was $15 if you just came in and needed, like a blow dryer, a little dry cut, that was $10. My highest price at that time when I was 13 was like $25 or $40 if you got a relaxer and all of that. And honey, I would end the week sometime as a 13-year-old with like $400 or $500. That was a lot of money for me. Right. You know what I mean? And during high school, I had my own, shoot, I was getting it. And so that made me feel like I can make this money like this.
Right.
I'm gonna do this. So
yeah, at 13, I was slinging pencils. I thought I was doing something. You was over there.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't like school. I wasn't a school. I was, you had to be really creative to keep my attention in school. I did okay. I did well. I mean, I did all right. You know what I'm saying, in school. But cosmetology and being hands-on and being creative, that was my thing. So I knew right out of and going to school that I wasn't gonna go to college, that I was gonna do hair and I was gonna have me a shop and everything. So
So we on you, Auntie, and then Unc, I'll come to you with this. But even though you had the entrepreneur spirit mindset coming out the womb, hustling at 7 years old, what is it that made you stay with it and not say, but it'd be so much easier for me, you know, if I went and got this job at corporate America, or I got these skills, all of these years continuing to do it on your own, well, and together. But what is it that you focused on? What's your thought process that what do you cling to that make you say, nope, I'm gonna take a gamble on me, I'm gonna take a bet on me, and I'm gonna rock with it?
Gotcha. I like that question. Well, honestly, at a very, very early age, literally like maybe 3 to 5 years old, that's the reason why at 7 I knew what I wanted to do. My father dropped that entrepreneurial seed in me, in my spirit. He was an entrepreneur. So my parents worked for themselves. So I saw a Black, people who looked like me, a Black family that was successful in business, and they ran their own business. My daddy could get up and go to the office whatever time he wanted. My mama could leave the office whenever she wanted. If we need, you know what I mean? So I saw that lifestyle. When we would travel, I could take my friends and do things. So that's what I knew I wanted for myself. So I knew that corporate America, I don't like, I don't want to make money for somebody else. And I always felt that even with hair, because I started out in a salon that was a commission salon, I felt like I was bringing in more money to the company than I was getting paid. And so from that experience there, it made me know there's no way that I felt like my skill set and what I did was too valuable, that I wanted to be able to have control over that, over that price, or over, the money that I made. But I also knew that I had to be active and I had to get out there and work if that's what I wanted to do.
So work ethic, and then also knowing like, look, ain't nobody gonna make money off my blood, sweat, and tears. I'd rather control the price. I dig it. What about you? Because comedy, and I'm still new to this, and just even my little experience, I've had to have some conversations with myself. So, what about you? What was it in your mind that made you go, I'm gonna take a chance on me, despite that feeling? Because that feeling it is something that you want it over and over again. But then there's a drive, there's a shift in mindset that makes somebody really gamble on themselves, because y'all got a brand, and we're gonna talk about it here in a minute. But y'all got a brand. Like, what type of mindset you got to have to make those types of choices, the decisions, to risk it all, if you will, on yourself?
I think when Frank Lucas got locked up, and I told him, I said, listen, this ain't gonna work. Either you're gonna end up in jail or you're gonna end up dead. And that's when they shot his brother. And I said, man, I'm out. You know what I mean? I am out. And then I started doing comedy. Right. You know, I remember when I met Yolanda. Right. You know what I mean? Yolanda used to cook in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. You know, with them things in the garage. Okay, all right.
That is not true.
I'm up and sounding like Cash Money, ain't it, baby?
I was about to say, what type of ring y'all was running out?
Big and slim up here.
So, I was watching American Gangster last night.
Really, what it is you see others capitalizing in entertainment on their talent. Mm. You know, not their name, not, their popularity, their talent. Mm-hmm. So Bill Cosby said, as long as I can talk, I can work. So when you are a comedian, comedy is a road that opens up a lot of opportunities. So if you see that ain't nobody else gonna bank on you more than yourself, ain't nobody else gonna believe in you more than yourself, and you just start grinding. I mean, you just start doing it. When I was doing it, like I would drive to Miami 12 hours, to get $50. But that was a big deal because, I got on stage. I got to tell my jokes. Yeah. So if you believe in what you do, then you have to believe in you have to believe in yourself. You can't believe in what you do and not believe in yourself, because that's just a representation of who you are,
Right.
what you do. So that's why I tell people all the time, you have to love it. You know, you have to love this, because everybody ain't gonna make $1 million a show.
Right.
But you have the capability and you have the talent to manifest $1 million in your bank account. You might not get it the way they did, but you can definitely get it. And the best way to do that is to bank on yourself.
Yeah.
So let me, and you actually stole my next question, so I'm gonna move on, because I was gonna ask, how much does love of what you do have to deal with what the mindset is? But you went ahead and jumped the gun, but it's cool. I forgive you. I got another question. So why is it that you all think that it's so easy for someone to take on a broke mindset, but so hard for someone to understand that money is also a mindset? Why is it so simple for people to take on broke, but push back and have a fight when it comes to having a money mindset?
I would say it's
It's
probably
gonna be good, because y'all both looked at each other like.
yeah, I'd say it's probably because of their environment.
Okay.
And what they were conditioned to. Again, I have definitely friends and people that I've met in life that don't have the same mindset as me. They might not even have the same positive energy or animation as I do. One thing I always have to go back, and I'm thankful now as I get older, I'm very, very thankful for this, because as I was growing up and in my 20s and maybe even 30s and early 40s, I really did not appreciate it. But coming on the eve of being 50, I realized everything.
What?
Yes, baby.
You better go, girl.
Crack, honey. It's not crack. But my parents really, really, really taught me the importance of ownership. They really, really taught me the importance of business. And again, it was a family business because my mom and father worked together. So I would hear, the positive sides, and then we would hear, whatever little arguments and things that would happen within the office. But I knew that they were striving for excellence. So that was really a great example, a great picture for me, because again, I knew that that's what I want to do. And yeah, like it's really not that hard. Like, I think if people would really tap into who they are, sometimes people use excuses and stuff. Like, I always say, I don't have a check coming to me weekly. So unless I get out there and I'm creative and I, put a plan together and execute that plan and put my energy behind that plan and my focus, I'm not going to generate any money, because money is just energy to me. I've also been taught that it's not just something that's, it's paper, it's tangible, but it's energy. And the more energy and effort that you put into people, and not just things, but people, you'll end up seeing that money come through, especially if you package it and put it together as a business. You'll see it happen. It's the law of the universe. Like it will happen. That's just how sure I am of that, and how I've seen it happen in my life and happen for me.
No, that's powerful. If you want to chime in, go ahead.
The mindset about poor versus rich is just that. It's a mindset. You could be in a car and you could pull up to a stoplight, and let's say a Bentley pulls up beside you. You have some people in the car, and one guy says, "Yo, I never get nothing like that, man. I wish I could." And the other dude said, "I'm gonna put myself in the position to get one of those. I'm gonna get one of those." The gentleman who says that he's gonna get it is the gentleman who more than likely is gonna get it, because the other cat already put negative energy out in the block. And he's telling himself subconsciously, you're not going to get it. So then the universe hears that, and you be like, all right, well, that's what it is. You're not going to get it. So I think that when it comes to money, I think it's about how you were brought up. A lot of us brought up where your parents told you, save for a rainy day. And now you just try not to make the rainy day your funeral. So a lot of people didn't have the correct financial literacy when it came to money. My mother never told me about stocks. My mom didn't know about Bitcoin and no electronic money. My mom didn't know about how to flip lines of credit. That wasn't her thing. She was old school. So it was save, you never know. Another thing about the mindset is if you have been working, and let's say that the majority of your finance comes from the dominant society.
Okay.
Then it will be difficult for you to move on if your dependency level is high on who you work for. And if your name isn't on the building, it doesn't matter how long you've been there, you're temporary. Because you can't run it if you don't own it. Right. So a lot of people are hesitant, like Steve Harvey says, to jump and take that leap of faith to believe in themselves and do the same thing you've been doing for somebody else, to do it for yourself. And then when you get to the point where you're comfortable, then you get from up under one umbrella and you start building your umbrella bigger. So it's a dilemma for us when it comes to money, especially if you didn't grow up around it or you didn't see it. And maybe the only way you did see it was hustling. Like my dad was, my dad spent 50,000 on Monday and lose it gambling and tell you, if I got it Monday, I can get it again Tuesday. that was enough. That's why my mom was divorced early. That was another, that was another mindset right there. Right. So for us, a lot of times it's just a blockage about when it comes to money, and it's perspective too.
Right. So perspective, I'm glad you both said that, because that's kind of the point of this show too, is to help create a paradigm shift in people's minds, to show, regular people that just changing how they view things and work ethic and putting aside what was the norm and taking a chance on themselves, that you can do the same thing. And that's my goal. My ultimate goal is just to energize people. Go, you got, Auntie, you said it. You got it in you. You got it in you. God breathes life in you, so God is in you. And the Bible even teaches that the world is crying out for the manifestations of the Son of God. Well. So I agree. And that's kind of the point. That's why I'm so grateful for you all and for what you do, because Tone, you said something too, which is to give it to somebody else. And I think that you both will have been and will continue to reap amazing harvest, because you all just look out for everybody. Tone, you the comedian, everybody gets love from you, you get opportunities. And Yolanda, you always giving advice. And y'all gonna reap it, because that's part of it too. Just I think a part of the mindset is, let me help somebody else get there.
Absolutely. And that's the way to become successful. Yep. Helping someone else. And sometimes people might get it mixed up with corporate America, because of course you're going to work, you're helping another company make money. So you strive, if I help this company, then I can be this, because then I can get this check or this promotion. But sometimes it's about helping other entrepreneurs or helping other creatives, you know what I mean? And whether that is with, advice or consulting, or, whether it's financial, or whether it's partnering and putting in sweat equity, helping them out with something, because all of that matters. And a lot of times people don't look at that sweat equity as value, but that sweat equity can build a partnership. Let's say, somebody that has a great idea or great service and something that can really, really boom, but they don't have the team and they don't have the capital. Right. Sometimes coming in together, putting your monies in together, or either putting the sweat equity in and aligning yourself in a position to be around people who are doing that, you get to get a lot of information to understand how to start things up. And then from that sweat equity, you could end up saying, look, I didn't have X amount of dollars, but I put X amount of time, which ended up with this. So now can I be a partner and with this business? Now you got a partnership in a business, you see what I'm saying, that can end up being profitable, that all it took is you having energy and you having the will and the belief in yourself and not the fear to go out there and communicate, open your mouth. Because to me, that's the first step. As long as if you know that you want to do something or you have an idea, the first step is to open it. And if you don't know how to do it, open your mouth to somebody who you think does know how to do it, or connect, yourself with someone who is doing it. That's the best way to get started, because information is so free. It is so free.
I love it. And then sweat equity and being willing to partner up with somebody. Like, I got a resource, you got a resource. Let me help you.
Right.
Let me tap in with you, and we're gonna rock out. So we're gonna talk about
That's
a couple
called
things.
Collaboration over competition.
Talk about it.
Yeah, that's called collaboration over competition, family.
And not being proud, but understanding I'm here to help you help you reach your goals. And then to your point, and then by doing so, I'll reach mine. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I was just gonna say there's a philosophy that says, can you imagine how much work could get done if no one worried about taking the credit? So that's everything is a mindset, and everything is the ability to work together, and also to have the ability to agree to disagree. All of those things are important. All of that works together.
I love it. That's good stuff. So I'm about to go down the list, and I know I don't have it all, and then we're gonna talk about why. So we got grown man conversations on the radio, right, and then also on the podcast, right?
Right.
We got on fitwear, which yes, I gotta get mine. Thank you.
Yeah, I got that sweatsuit. I'm holding that tracksuit for you. I'm like, all right then.
I'm gonna get it. And we got Laugh It Up Thursdays is back. I miss y'all. Y'all blew it out the park with Ryan Davis to set it back off.
That was crazy night.
And that's happening in this week, isn't it?
Actually,
it got moved.
Yeah, we moved it. We're gonna do it in September. So September 16th will be the Laugh It Up Thursdays.
All right. Well, we'll circle back to that. I'll give you an opportunity to announce everything that's coming up. But we got Laugh It Up Thursday, which has been awesome for comedians. It's another mic. And what I love about y'all is y'all bringing up and coming comedians to get the opportunity to rock the stage with vets. You bring in musicians, and it's just another opportunity to exercise the gift. And so I appreciate that. We got Grown Gang again. We got YNS Productions. We got all this stuff going on. Some of this probably been in the pipeline, but just recently came to fruition.
Yeah.
What does success look like for you all, and where are we going from here? Because I mean, I got a list.
Yeah, success for me is being able to leave a legacy for my boys, for my family. Being able to leave something to where if they don't want to work, we have a meaning. If they don't want to go into corporate America, we've got businesses and we've got things that they can run. And both of my boys actually don't want to go into corporate America. Justice is a dancer, choreographer in Atlanta. London likes a lot of gaming and internet stuff, so not sure what direction he's going to go into. But it was so that, again, my parents had a business that when we were kids, that if we wanted to go work for them, we could work for them. Like my sister and my brothers both work for them. My other brother's a fireman, so he's the only one who doesn't. But we all came up under that umbrella of being able to have a job. If we wanted a job at 10 years old, we was able to have that. And I feel a lot of times in Black families, you don't see that. You see that in other families or in white families or Caucasian families that they kids end up running the family business, or they may go to college, they may go do something else, but then they always have something to fall back on. Right. So for me, success is being able to take care of my family. It's not a dollar amount, you know what I mean? It's not that. It's being, and if you're able to take care of your family, then you are already in a situation to be financially free. Because if you're helping other people, you ain't gonna take from yourself to help somebody else. That means you're in a position to be able to do that. So that, in a nutshell, without getting too long, is what success is for me.
Okay.
Success is different to everybody.
Right.
Once again, it's perspective, perception, and it's basically what have you been striving for? Like, what's your line? So my whole thing with entertainment is always make sure your family knows who you are. want to get caught up so much that my kids forget who I am. Yolanda forgets who you are. You always want to make sure that you know who you are.
Right.
So you don't get caught up in that. Success to me has nothing to do with financial.
Okay.
And then if people say successful it has something to do with monetary, I mean, good for them, because I said it's different
for everybody.
Right.
But success to me is basically family. Taking care of yourself.
Yeah, being healthy.
Do you remember when he asked you to go ahead and say your answer? And now here I go. But now you want to add. You want to ad lib on my cut, just a remix. But ain't nobody saying nothing on your cut.
You want it.
She getting featured on yours too.
Right. I mean, damn, Ashanti.
That's right. No, Sugar Night.
Okay.
Sugar Night. Not Ashanti, but Sugar Night.
So success is family. What you do for yourself to try to make sure that you can be around and not just exist, but actually be around and being a productive part of your family until you transition. And that's success. You hope people talk about you the same way they do when you're in front of them as they do when you're not around. And when you're not here physically anymore, you would definitely not be around. But conversation about you, the energy about you will still be around. So that's my blueprint for success.
I love it. And I love how you both tied it back to family and just being able to take care of your loved ones. And I think that's fantastic. So I got 2 questions and then we're going to wrap it up. The first one is you both are diving into very competitive markets, clothing lines, comedy, brand management, all television, streaming services. Y'all doing all these competitive things. What is it that I guess not that you're clinging from, but what lessons or major lessons, you don't have to give the whole rundown, from the other ventures that you've done up to this point has given you the confidence to go on and take on some of these markets, because these are really competitive markets?
Yeah. Well, for me, I'm gonna say just even from the beginning on how things started out with me understanding I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And like Tony even talked about in his career, wanted to do things and do it for himself and not wait on someone else to kind of open that door for him. Because entertainment is such a competitive market, and because sometimes people don't like to give information, even though information is free, but they don't like to give it. And I was always the type of person, I don't like the words no. I'll take it and I'll receive it if that's what you tell me, but I don't like it. And so I've always felt that the only way I can control a no is if I create that opportunity or create that platform for myself. So meaning if I want a podcast and I want to be able to have a podcast that's out there and on certain platforms and people see it. If I go to somebody else and I'm like, okay, well, look, I have this great idea. I would love to go to your, and they're like, well, no, we don't, you done told me no. So now you made me think you crushed my idea. So I was like, if I don't want that, let me create it myself. So that's where, and even with Tone, when we're working with him, because I, of course, manage his career, we're working with him. Instead of sitting around waiting on someone to call and book him, okay, well, let's create something to put him in a platform so people can see him. Then that way he does his thing. Then that way it can be recorded. It can be put out there and now other people can see him. And then from there, bookings can come because he's talented. So it's like, if you've got the talent and you have the idea or you've got the plan, it's really just a matter of putting it out there. And I've always been one, I didn't want to wait on anybody. So to me, if Hulu and Netflix and all of them can do it, I was saying, well, why can't we do it? So let's start a Grown TV Network. And even if Grown TV Network, the world don't know about it until 5 years from now, I have to start somewhere, because we didn't know about Hulu, I'm sure, when they first started. We didn't know about Netflix when they was in the basement and they was getting it. We knew about it after the hard work and effort that they put into it. So that's the same way I look about the things that we do. And for us, Grown Fit, it's a brand. It's something for grown folks. You know, you have adult things, you know, the grown is sexy, or adult folks or older people. But for me, it was never a niche market for grown. And I was like, you know, when Tone is doing his grown man comedy and he's on stage doing his thing, and that whole grown persona he had, I said, baby, let's tap into that. Let's capitalize on that. That could be a movement. And that's what we're growing into. We're grown, you know?
Right. No, y'all got a whole brand. I mean, and I love it, from, like you said, from TV, the podcast, the gear, the radio show. And I love it. And one thing I'm gonna say, and you have a lot to do with many of the things that I tapped into, and that's because we had a conversation years ago. You may or may not remember it. I won't give the whole conversation, but essentially, you was like, nephew, you got to put it together. You got to put something together, and you got to work it. And then while you work it, people will take notice. And then once people take notice, you'll make your impact. You'll make that mark. But you got to find your thing. You got to find the thing that represents you, who you are. And you said it doesn't have to be a gimmick or whatever, but it's you. It's your brand. It's what represents you. And I think about that every time I go to tap into something. I think about that conversation. And a lot of stuff that I'm a part of now is due to that. Like, I'm not waiting on someone to say, man, you really good at that. You should blah, blah, blah. Now it's, you know, I'm going to go ahead and create.
Right. You there now?
Free knowledge you gave, free information.
I'm glad. I'm glad you took it in. We had a pause for a minute, but I'm glad you took it in. It froze up on this end. But I also want to tell you, I'm so proud of you. The fact that you have the Money Mindset Show. I think that's a brilliant name. I think it's a great topic. I think, like you said, it's something that needs to be discussed more and more in the Black community. And we all need to get involved and understand money and flow and currency and what that is. And I also want to tell you that that's another reason why we created Grown TV Network, is for content creators like yourself. Like now, people can see us on Facebook, and they may be able to see us on other social media platforms, which is good. But you don't always want to give away what you can sell. You, as a Black content creator, can put your Money Mindset Show up on the platform. And now those people who want to come and support you, it's almost like a pay-per-view. Every time someone watches, you get paid for that. And the way it's set up, content creators receive 80% of their earnings. So that's something to think about. You know what I mean? And now that puts Money Mindset on a different platform. So now you're saying, okay, you can not only catch me here, but bam, now go watch full episodes, or if you missed it, go back and watch my recaps, and you can support me as a young Black entrepreneur or young Black content creator. So that's another reason why we did it. Again, helping others become successful is only going to come back and help you on what your goal is and what you're doing to try to be successful.
I love it, and you will definitely get a phone call from me. Because Auntie went on and dropped some jewels, so I'm a leave it with you. What would you get? What advice? And Auntie, you can chime in too. It's okay. Don't let them tell you can. But what advice would you give for someone who is looking to create their own, to have the mindset, the money mindset that they have, and step out on faith and take a risk on themselves? What advice would you give them, whether young or old, just saying, you know what, watching this show or watching you and going, yeah, I want to take a chance on myself?
If you jump off a cliff with a parachute, then you have to believe that the parachute is going to open. Now, you can control when the parachute opens, but you don't just jump off the cliff and then pull your chute. You got to jump. You got to fall a certain distance to pull your chute. And if that chute don't open, then you have to believe that you pack your backup right, so you can go and pull your backup chute.
Right.
Now that analogy for a lot of people is you are afraid to jump because you don't know if that parachute is going to open. That parachute is your belief in yourself. And we are in an instant society, a microwave society. So when a lot of people jump, they go and pull the parachute. As soon as they jump, well, that's going to mess up your whole jump. You're going to mess yourself up worse than if you would have waited. A lot of people don't believe in themselves enough to wait, to drop, to go through some things, and then you pull your parachute. When you pull your parachute, that's your belief in yourself. Well, your parachute will get you landed safely on the ground, which is your foundation, which goes back to believing in yourself. And you put all of that together and you say, if you believe in yourself enough, you will jump and you will do what it takes and you will pull the parachute and you will land safely on your feet or your tuck and roll or whatever. You'll land and you'll still have it together because there's no guarantee that you're going to land on your feet tomorrow where you are. Because if you don't own it, they can come in and they can say, hey, we're going in a different direction. Thank you, whoop to whoop. And we'll give you till 6 o'clock to clean out your office. Well, how you going to feel? And then what you going to do? So I think the pandemic opened up a lot of people's eyes as far as entrepreneurship and believing in themselves. And now a lot of people are at that point where they don't really have an interest like they did before the pandemic and working for someone else. They would rather tough it out on their own and see where it goes. And that's all me and Yolanda do. I mean, you throw stuff against the wall and see if it sticks.
Right.
And you just keep it moving.
Yeah. And then also, I would say, just to chime in, to also, for those who are looking, what he said, Auntie can say something too. I want to help wrap it up and bring it home for those ladies.
Bring it home.
Those young entrepreneurs, right, that are thriving. Have a plan, you know what I mean? And a plan don't mean the whole 15, 20-page business plan. A plan might mean accountability, meaning in the morning, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to do these 3 things toward my business or towards something that could be successful for my family or for my legacy, whatever that is, even if you have another job. And it's about being consistent because we can all, have ideas and goals and things that we want to do, and we can feel stuck and feel like, okay, I want to do this. But if you're not consistent and if you don't have a plan and if you don't have accountability for yourself, because that's another big thing about being an entrepreneur, it's not somebody calling you and waking you up saying, okay, get up, you got to go to work. And if you don't get up, it's not somebody saying, oh, you forgot this deadline or you didn't do that. So you literally have to have the willpower and the mindset to know that, okay, I'm going to do this. And I would say for those who are in corporate America, who want to transition out, the same way you would set your clock at 7:30 and be at the job by 8:30 or 9 o'clock is the same way you set your clock for your own business. And if you work from 9 to 5, work for yourself from 9 to 5.
That same energy.
Yeah, and that's literally those simple steps are what it is. People look for a quick fix or that don't happen unless you put in the work, unless you're consistent with the work and you're accountable for what you haven't done. Then you start seeing the and the light bulb. So
I love it.
Energy is everything, nephew. Energy is everything. We are all connected. And you plan your work and work your plan.
Yeah.
Work your plan. Plan the work the plan. Well, I love it. So I'm gonna let y'all go. But before I do, real quick, if you want to just drop what's coming. We mentioned Laugh It Up Thursday being moved to September. I know you have the white and denim party with Kid Capri happening. So drop it on us a little bit. What's going on in the next couple of weeks, next couple of months before you go?
Grown Man Radio, Monday through Friday. Catch me on V101.9 FM. The Tone X Show, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. All right. The boy with the $1 million vocal cords hooking up with the Chief Party Rocker, Kid Capri, Saturday night. That's going to be at the Harvey B. Gantt Center. That's going to be incredible. I suggest you get your tickets. Before that, J. Anthony Brown is coming. He'll be in Charlotte. He's got his Watch Out There Now comedy tour, and he's taping his network special here Saturday night.
Okay.
So they just added your man to the lineup, which is going to be big, along with Kiara Benson. It's going to be a dope show. That's 8 o'clock. That's at McLaughlin Theater. That's in Spirit Square.
And then tomorrow, Grown Men Conversations, the visual podcast.
Talk about it.
Catch us live at 9 o'clock for that moment on, if you're on social media, on ToneX page on Facebook, or either ToneX Comedy on Instagram. And then if you do miss us, you can always go to growntvnetwork.com, which is a Black streaming platform for Black content creators. And you can watch the recaps of the shows along with other content from other content creators from around the world.
Yeah, tell them the topic tomorrow night. When did you find out you were Black?
That's the topic tomorrow.
It's going to be with my man Adrian Sundiata. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah, great hot conversation.
When did you find out you were Black?
And then Laugh It Up Thursday, September 16th, which will, if COVID doesn't creep back in on us, or the Delta or the Felta or whoever coming up next, it's normally every third Thursday of the month. You know what I mean? But right now we're going every other month just to kind of see, engage, and make sure everything is safe for people. So the next show will be September the 16th, Laugh It Up Thursdays, of course, hosted by ToneX, $1 Million DJ, Tab DiBiase is also on the wheels of steels and the music. And then we have the live band, King, Lee, and Iconic Truth Band, which is the house band. So they will always be opening up the show on that.
Yeah, that's dope. You can get your Grown Fit. You can go to grownfitwear.com. You can go to grownfitwear.com. We have the track suits for you to check out, the V-neck tees along with the shorts, along with the female athletic fitness two-piece sets. Yes. So I've got on the black and white Grown Fit track pants right now, but I'm not going to stand up.
Is that the V-neck?
I'm not going to do all of that extra. I'm waiting on my nephew to get his Grown Fit track suit. He's going to mess around, and I'm going to be like, oh, man, I had it, but
you know we got you.
We shipped that to Jersey. Okay.
Listen, I'm getting it. I'm getting it, and I got some tickets to buy because you got a lot going on. So I'm definitely gonna be on there. So everybody, and again, make sure y'all check out the radio station, check out the podcast, check out the events. A lot going on here in Charlotte. You also are so you got the special currently that they're gonna film. He's gonna film that. But then you also can be seen on Monique and Friends, right?
On Showtime.
On Showtime. So make sure you check that out. But I'm gonna let y'all go. But first and foremost, again, I love you so much. Thank you so much for being on the show and just dropping the jewels that you dropped. And I know you touched some people because, like you said, it's all energy, and you just can't deny good energy. You can't deny positive energy. So I appreciate you both, and I appreciate you rocking with me. And definitely gonna be hitting you up, Auntie, because definitely looking to take this to another place, another level. So, but I appreciate you both.
Absolutely. We appreciate you too. We love you too, Neff. And I'm very proud of you. And definitely make sure you hit me up.
Will do. Thank you.
And we want to thank you for the invitation.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And creating a platform like you have. I'm giving out the information like you do, because I always say information is the new currency. Mm-hmm. So we want to thank you for doing. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Salute. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
All right. Love you back.
All right. Y'all get out of here. I thought that was a big screen TV behind y'all. I was like, that's a big old TV, but that's a window.
Yeah, that's a window.
Love y'all.
Love you back, man.
Oh man. So what a blessing, everybody, to have my aunt and uncle on, and just so grateful for them and the jewels that they dropped. So listen, once again, we got Tone's got the podcast, he's got the radio show, he's got the so he got the comedy show, radio show, podcast, the gear, the specials coming up. It's just a lot going on, and I'm just so happy and grateful for them and them blessing the show. But as always, like I always want to end the show, you know, it is a mindset and it's energy. And if you are looking for additional opportunities and ways to just increase the money that you make and learning different skill sets and things like that to kind of develop your own maybe your own business or whatever the case may be, but you're looking to step away from corporate America and say, you know, I want to do my own thing. So if that's you, shoot me a message, DM me, get you connected with the right people, get you connected with the right opportunities, get you connected with the right skill set. I'm excited. Next show, we got Nina Childs, CEO, director, writer, playwright, actress. She's everything. Tune in for the next show. I can't wait. In the meantime, thank y'all so much for viewing. Thank you so much for checking out the show. Check out Tonex, Tonex Comedy. Check out Yolanda's page, and just be blessed, man. Love y'all. Salute.